Now this is everything that I'm taking with me on a 2-month trip to Spain. And I know it looks like a lot, but every single piece of gear here serves a very important purpose. And they all fit into one of 3 different photography loadouts that will cover me in any scenario. So today in this video, I'm gonna break down what those 3 different photography loadouts are, talk about all the different pieces of gear here that you see on the table, and hopefully help you make a decision for your next piece of gear as well. And before we jump into it, I'm giving away a free Lightroom preset pack. There's a link down in the description, and I hope you guys enjoy. Now, the first photography loadout is what I like to call Do It All Dick. This is the guy that's waking up at 3:30 in the morning, hiking a mountain just to capture one single photo. And Do It All Dick loves gear. He wants to make sure he has enough gear to cover him in pretty much any different scenario. And let's start off at the top with the camera. Now, my camera of choice for this particular setup is the Sony A1 II. It's the camera that I'm filming on now, hence why I'm not holding it, but I will show you guys some B-roll of this camera. And the reason why I chose the Sony A1 II is because this camera can handle absolutely anything that I throw at it, and it does not hiccup along the way. It shoots incredibly good 50 megapixel photos. It has beautiful 4K all the way up to 8K video, and it doesn't have any rolling shutter as well, which is a problem that I had with the Sony a7 IV before I upgraded to this camera. The autofocus is absolutely wild as well, and the main reason why I like this camera so much is because it doesn't get in the way. It allows me to capture what I want to capture. I don't have to think about it. It's a tool for capturing my creative vision, and I don't think there's a better camera on the market for doing that than the Sony A1 II. But let's talk lenses. For this particular setup, I like to carry 3 different lenses with me. The first one is a 24-70 f2.8 G Master Mark II. Fantastic lens, incredibly versatile, but it's not all that sexy, and I'd shoot with this because it gives me a lot of variety and a lot of range. But my favorite lens, and you guys probably already know this by now, is the 35mm f1.4 G Master. I shoot with this lens more than any other lens in the history of my lens collection. It's incredibly sharp. I love the 35mm focal length, and I like to carry at least one prime with me because it allows me to shoot in low light if I want to, or if I do really want to capture a super shallow depth of field, well, I have a prime lens to do that. Now for this setup, you can go for a 24, you can go for a 35, you can go for a 50, but I do think it's always important to carry at least one prime with you when you have all of your zoom lenses as well, because having that prime can really open up a lot of different doors for different styles of photography. Like I said, the shallow depth of field, low light photography, they're just really good to have. Now in this setup, I also like to carry with me the 70-200 f2.8 G Master Mark II. This is a fantastic lens, and I have shot some of my favorite photos on this lens in the past. Being able to shoot super compressed allows you to really eliminate a lot of different distracting elements in your image, and I have captured some of the cleanest compositions on this particular lens and the Mark I that I had prior to this one. But if I do want a little bit more reach, I also like to carry with me the 2x adapter. With this and this, I can shoot up to 400mm, which is fantastic for shooting things like surfers, or if I want to just zoom in really close and pick apart a landscape, having this 2x converter really can help in those particular scenarios. And it's so small, so I always like to carry it with me just in case I do need a little bit more reach. Now, the last piece of kit that I like to carry with this setup is the drone. Now, I like to bring the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and the reason why I bring this is because it's so small. I hate traveling with a ton of gear, and I really dislike traveling with big drones that I'm probably not gonna fly all that much. I used to be really into droning, but these days I really just use it to shoot video, maybe some reels, but for the most part, I just don't drone all that much like I used to. And so this drone just basically does everything that I needed to do. The video quality is incredible. It's nice and compact. The battery life is solid. And despite its size, it's actually pretty powerful. Now, all of this gear fits into one of my favorite bags of all time, and that is the Shimoda Explore 35mm backpack. I've had this thing since the day of its release a few years ago, and it has not caused me any problems at all over that time frame. I absolutely love this bag, and I think the thing that stands out to me the most is just the support system that it has built into it. There is a rock solid frame on the back of this bag, and you can absolutely load this thing up with like 40 pounds of gear, and it distributes weight so beautifully with these straps. Plus it has a ton of different compartments. I am a massive fan of this bag. And I use it with urban photography. I use it with landscape photography. I can use it pretty much anywhere because it's still not that massive and it just works in a lot of different scenarios. If you guys do want to see a review on this particular bag, I'll put a link up there and you guys can go check that out. Now, another thing that I always bring with me on my trips as well, and I carry with me in this particular photography setup, is my Anker power bank. And shout out to Anker because they are sponsoring today's video. Now, I've owned several different Anker power banks over the years, and I can't even count how many times they've saved me from being stranded in some faraway country with a dead phone. But Anker's new laptop power bank is hands down, by far and away, the most impressive power bank I've ever owned. It's the most advanced, and it also charges way faster than any other power bank I've experienced before. This thing truly is the ultimate high capacity power bank for family trips or photography trips. And it truly is laptop grade power as well. It has an all day capacity of 25,000 milliamps, which is massive, and it has 3 USB ports with each port pushing up to 100 watts of power each, meaning I can plug in my phone and my laptop at the same time, and they both charge insanely fast. My phone got up to 50% charge in about 20 minutes, and my laptop got up to 50% charge in about half an hour. Now, it also has 2 built-in USB-C ports as well, which is really nice because it eliminates the need for all those annoying and messy cables. And it has a grand total of 4 different ports, which all support simultaneous fast charging, so you can quickly charge 4 of your devices all at once. And of course, it's approved for flights worldwide as well, so you can keep all of your devices charged on those grueling long-haul flights. Now, I also recently picked up the Anker 5-in-1 power adapter, which is definitely going to come in handy in Spain or any other country that I visit for that matter, because this tiny thing is compatible with over 200 countries and it can charge up to 5 devices at once, which is perfect for charging all my gear before those early sunrise missions. Plus, it is absolutely tiny, making it super easy to pack and travel with as well. This thing is truly the ultra compact all-in-one adapter for the world. Now, either of these would be an amazing gift for a photographer, family member, or a friend. And if you guys want to check out either of these products, now is the time because Anker products are up to 40% off for Black Friday. So don't miss out on this sale while it lasts. You guys can check out both of these products via the first links in the description. But with that said, let's move on to the second photography setup. Now, the second loadout is what I like to call the casual Ken. So this is the photographer that's going out. Maybe they're not bringing all of their gear. They don't want to bring a super heavy backpack, but they still want to capture some super high quality images just with a bit of a smaller setup. This is a setup that I really like to use for street photography. I like just going out with a few really good lenses, one really good camera body, and just kind of immersing myself on the streets. And this is probably the setup that I use most these days. Now, the camera for this setup is once again the Sony A1 II, but I felt weird not holding a camera in my hand, so I got this really old Canon EOS Elon 7E film camera to hold it while I talk about the A1 II again. But like I said before, I feel like the Sony A1 II just doesn't get in the way creatively. It works fantastic for this setup, but it probably is a bit overkill for a lot of the scenarios that I do use it for, but I want to be able to have all those features just in case I'm on the street and something crazy happens. I know that the Sony A1 II just will not get in my way. Now, lenses, once again, we have the 24-70 f2.8 and also the 35mm f1.4 G Master Prime. These just are great lenses for carrying in an everyday setup. They're not too big, they just don't get in the way. And these 2 lenses plus my Sony A1 II, it just does not take up a lot of space, but it gives me so much reach. 24mm on the wide end all the way up to 70mm, and once again, the benefits of a prime lens if I want them, which, to be honest, when I'm shooting in the street, I'm mostly shooting with the 35 prime, and sometimes I'll put on the 24-70 if I do need a little bit more reach or if I want to shoot a little bit wider, but typically I don't. I like to hang out between like 35 and 50mm most of the time. Now, another thing I like to bring on this setup is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This thing is absolutely incredible. It's one of the best things that I've bought for my photography business over the last 10 years of being a photographer and a YouTuber. I highly recommend this thing. You can just flip it out, turn it on, and capture some really high quality footage with that 1-inch sensor. And I'm really excited for the update when they do finally release that. That is going to be an instant buy for me because I really do love this thing so much, and it is absolutely tiny. Now, the bag that I use for this setup is the Wotancraft Pilot 10-liter sling. I love this bag. It is so incredibly durable. It's made of a really high quality Cordura material, and it holds 10 liters of gear, meaning I can put my Sony A1 II, I can put both of these lenses, and it still has room for my Anker power bank and all of my extra batteries and pretty much everything else that I want to fit in there as well. This thing is incredible. I love how understated it looks. It has a bunch of different pockets for different pieces of gear. It even has a little pocket for your passport so you can keep it hidden, or you can put an AirTag in there as well. And I can even fit my 16-inch MacBook Pro in this if I don't have it loaded full of gear. So it's nice if I'm just going out to work for the day and I'm not going to be shooting. I can can put my 16-inch laptop in this with my charging cable and a bunch of other stuff and just carry this with me instead of bringing out my massive backpack every time I just want to go to a coffee shop and work. But like I said before, this is probably the setup that I like to use the most because it allows me to not sacrifice any quality in the images that I'm getting. I still have my main body and 2 of my main lenses, but I don't have to carry all of that gear. I don't have the drone. I don't have the 70-200, which is a massive camera, and I can fit it all into this nice compact sling. But there's still one more loadout that doesn't involve any of this gear, and that is what I like to call the everyday Ed. Now, the everyday Ed is basically my everyday photography setup. This is what I take with me out every single time I leave the house. Even if I'm not going out to shoot, I just like to have a camera with me. I like to have my little man purse and just a few other accessories that I always bring with me every time I leave the house. And this whole setup revolves around one main camera. And most of the time, that is the Fuji X100 VI. I absolutely love this camera. This thing is amazing. It is tiny, it shoots beautiful images. I like that it can shoot some pretty cool JPEGs as well, and it has a flash built in, which makes it incredibly versatile for a wide range of scenarios. I've used this to shoot at night with my friends. On January 1st, I got some super cool slow shutter stuff with this camera. I like to bring it out when I'm just hanging out with my girlfriend, going to get coffee. I like to shoot some still life. And it also can totally keep up if you're gonna be doing some more serious street photography as well. And I did a video in Spain where I went out and shot almost exclusively in Granada with the Fuji X100V, which is the predecessor to this one. And I just love the images that were coming out of it. So I'm a big fan of this camera. It's just the perfect everyday camera, and it's the one that I always keep coming back to. I did play around with the OM system, OM3 for a while. That was a really cool micro four thirds sensor. And I also recently made a video about the Leica Q343, which that thing is insane. I absolutely loved that camera, but it is a lot bigger than this, and it is exponentially more expensive. So for me, I think this is just kind of a better everyday carry camera. But when I'm not carrying the Fuji X100 VI, I'm carrying my favorite 35mm film camera of all time. This is the Konica Hexar RF, and I have a Voigtlander 35mm f2 Ultron lens on this thing. And this is a fantastic film camera setup. I can shoot this thing in aperture priority, but I can spot meter for the shadows or anywhere else in the image that I want to account for. And it also has a maximum shutter speed of 1/4000th of a second, which is double that of the Leica M6, which is 1/1000th of a second. I really do love this camera. It looks super cool, and I've shot some of my favorite images on it as well. I just hope that it doesn't die because it is fully electronic. So I'm just waiting for that day, but until then it's held up beautifully. And it hasn't caused me any issues at all. But another camera that I was looking at for this particular setup was the Sony RXR1 Mark III, I think it's called, such a long name. But that camera really appeals to me because it's so small, and you still got all the benefits of the Sony autofocus system, the 61 megapixel sensor. That is something I would really like to try. So Sony, if you're watching this video, let's collab. Now, the bag that I use for this setup is this little sling by Long Weekend, and I love it. It's really understated, it looks pretty cool, and it can fit a lot in it despite its size. I can put either of these cameras in there. I can put some film here in the front. I can put my power bank in there. And if I wanted to, I can also carry my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 as well if I want to shoot some video while I'm out and about during the day. So I really like this bag. I take it with me every day, even out here in Bali. If I'm just going out with my friends, I just put like my phone and wallet and everything in here. It's my little man purse. I take it raving with me. This thing goes with me everywhere, and I love this little bag. So that's kind of my everyday photography setup. Like I said, this is what I take with me every time I leave the house, but there are a few more accessories that I'm bringing on this trip related to making videos and just being a photographer in general that I want to talk about now. Now, I often get asked what my audio setup is for these videos, and I like to keep it super simple, especially when I'm traveling as well. And for that, I use the Rode Wireless Pro, and it's nice and small and compact. I can keep both of these mics in here, but I like to pair the Rode Wireless Pro with the Rode Video Mic NTG, which is up here. I'm booming it right now, so you guys can't see it, but I'll show you some B-roll. And this setup is what I use for all of my videos, talking head videos, or if I'm out shooting in the field. Both of these mics are just super easy to use, and they work incredibly well. But other than that, the tripod that I'm bringing for my trip is the one that I'm filming on now, and that is the Ulanzi Incomen Zero Wide tripod. It's super small and tiny, and I just love that it doesn't get in the way. It's also incredibly light as well, so it's nice to travel with, it works well, and it's also the tripod that I use here in the studio as well. Now, I'm also bringing a few hard drives, and the hard drives that I like to use are the Lacy 5TB USB-C drives. These things are amazing, and I keep one of these for every year. but I also like to use these Samsung T7 shields as well. So I usually work off of these, and then once I'm kind of done with the year, I transfer everything over to these Lacy 5TB drives, and then I have one of those for every year. And then I can kind of change these out and just continuously work off of them for several different years. Now, a lot of you guys have noticed the watch that I've been wearing in a lot of my videos as well. And I picked up this watch last year in Japan. This is the Tudor Black Bay 58. And to be honest, I'm wearing this most of the time. This is kind of my little everyday carry watch that I bring with me everywhere. I travel with it, but when I'm here home in Bali, I am more focused on fitness, so I do wear my Apple Watch here a lot. But I love this watch. It's understated, it's bulletproof. I can swim with it, it's not super loud, and it just looks cool and timeless and classic. And I like that it's kind of black and understated as well. Big fan of this watch, and I got a sweet deal on it in Tokyo as well. And last but certainly not least, the AirPods Pro 3. I just got these and they're absolutely incredible. I wear the AirPods Pro pretty much 24/7 because there's construction going on in the house next door, and I absolutely hate that. Luckily, it's okay today, so you guys aren't being blasted by a chainsaw outside. But these are great for street photography, just going out and about, and they also have live translation as well. Apparently, I'm gonna have to try that out in Spain because my Spanish is absolutely garbage. So we'll see how that goes. But I really do like these. I use them for work, I use them for travel. And the noise canceling on the latest version is definitely a massive upgrade from the version 2s. Another thing I forgot to mention is my laptop, and I am using the Apple M1 Max MacBook Pro. This thing is absolutely incredible, but it is the 16-inch, and I think when this next generation comes out next year, I'm definitely gonna upgrade and go for the 14-inch because the 16-inch is just too big and heavy. And one of the things that I really like to prioritize on these trips, while it seems like I'm bringing a lot of gear, I'm actually leaving stuff behind as well in an effort to save weight and save space. And the 16-inch is just a little bit too big for me. But you know who it's not too big for is Do It All Dick. But that's pretty much everything that I'm bringing with me on this 2-month trip to Spain. And I'm sure there's things that I forgot, little knickknacks here or there, but that's kind of the core of my photography setup for this trip. And I like to break it down into 3 different loadouts because those are the different setups that I use depending on what I'm shooting or where I'm shooting. Now, to be honest, I am bringing a lot of gear to Spain, but you got to think I'm going there for 2 months. I'm going to be there for 2 months with my partner. We're going to be living in San Sebastian, and I want to have all 3 of these different setups because I'm not just going for a photography trip. I'm going there to live for 2 months and shoot and work at the same time. So I need to make sure that I have all the gear that I need for a wide range of videos and a wide range of photography styles as well. But that is all for this one, guys. I think we were totally overdue for making a video on what gear I'm using in 2025 and 2026. And that was the main purpose of this video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I got to start packing all this stuff because I'm leaving in a few days for Spain and I still have so much to do. And if you guys are new to the channel, I have a ton of awesome tutorials about photography, lighting, composition, color theory, whatever it is. I probably have a video about it. So make sure you subscribe and check out some of those videos. But thank you guys once again. And also thank you so much, Anchor, for sponsoring this video. And I will chat with you guys very soon in the next one.
Yeah.